What's up, everyone? Welcome to the June 9th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code Awesemo when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% first deposit bonus up to $100 on that deposit. We have a short 5-game MLB slate tonight. But as usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks and the top pitchers tool on the Awesemo.com website. Starting with the top 3 stacks. Number 3, the Oakland Athletics taking on Connor Pilkington. The A's have been really bad offensively this year. One of the worst offenses in baseball. Only an 81 WRC plus, a 119 ISO, but they are relatively inexpensive. They're projected for 5% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 13% chance of being the top value stack. Pilkington has had success so far in the majors, but overall an unproven pitcher and very favorable pricing on the A's. Number 2, the Washington Nationals taking on Trevor Rogers. Rogers had really good strikeout stuff last season. So far this year, though, he's been lacking. Only a 19.2% strikeout percentage, 4.62 xFIP. The Nats have been league average in terms of offensive production with a 99 WRC plus. A 125 ISO certainly leaves some power to be desired, but they're not projected for much ownership. 2% projected ownership, 9% chance of being the top scoring stack, and a 7% chance of being the top value stack. And number 1, the Baltimore Orioles taking on Chris Bubich tonight in Kansas City. Bubich has been absolutely awful this year, only striking out 14.3% of hitters. His walk percentage is north of 15%. He's allowed 2.45 home runs per 9 innings with a 5.57 xFIP. The Orioles have a 99 WRC plus and a 149 ISO on their active roster. They're projected for 10% ownership with a 13% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 15% chance of being the top value stack. Now, looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, JT Brubaker. He's in a boom or bust spot against the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta's active roster has a 111 WRC plus, but they've also struck out 25.5% of the time. Brubaker has a 22.5% strikeout percentage with a 4.4 xFIP so far this season. Certainly not a safe spot for Brubaker, but he's only $8,000. He's only projected for 1% ownership. He has about an 8% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 9% chance of being the top value pitcher tonight. Number 2, Connor Pilkington. I mentioned Oakland as a cheap stack, but they're also a bad offense, and Pilkington so far in his limited major league career has struck out 29% of hitters. He's projected for about 8% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and an 11% chance of being the top value pitcher at $7,700 tonight. And number 1, Nick Pivetta taking on a free falling Los Angeles Angels team. He's $9,100, projected for 10% ownership, has a 10% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 7% chance of being the top value pitcher. The Angels WRC plus on their active roster is down to 102. Mike Trout is banged up, may or may not play tonight. If he doesn't play, that's certainly a bump for Pivetta as well. And their active roster has a 26.2% strikeout percentage. Pivetta has struck out 23.3% of hitters with a 4 xFIP so far this season. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks on FanDuel: number 3, the Oakland Athletics; number 2, the Washington Nationals; and number 1, the Baltimore Orioles. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, JT Brubaker; number 2, Connor Pilkington; and number 1, Nick Pivetta.